Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and today I'm starting a new project. But this is this is a project of projects, if you like. So first things first, I've got this stamp catalogue book. I think this is its centre. Okay, so I've got this book. I've taken the centre out as always so that I can use various pages for things. And I have scanned this. This is in my Ko-fi shop. So if you wanted to join along, you can obviously pick up that scan and put it onto some cardboard and you can join in. Now, to me, this cover is so beautiful with all its watermark and damage. I mean, it's 120 years old, this book. So, you can't expect it to be pristine. There's even a little hole. Look, you see, there's a little hole up there. So we need to strengthen it, but I don't want to cover it. I think that, is just a fabulous journal front in its own right. So I'm going to cover it with fabric on the inside. Now, you've seen me do this before, but usually I would just cover, say, to there. Cover the spine, protect the folds, and, go to there. But a project of projects, because I've been playing with stamp blocks. And as you can see, I have stamped this piece of calico. Now, I wasn't happy with this middle bit, so it does seem like the perfect piece to use in this book, because that middle piece, hey presto, look, it's actually the right size. I didn't even do it for this. It was just a piece of calico that was lying around. But that dodgy middle piece is going to be where all our pages are. So to me, that makes sense. So I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to find the end of my book there. I suppose I should check you can see what I'm doing, shouldn't I? And there. See, I've got two pencil lines. Oh yeah, there at the bottom. See, it's all going wrong. It's all going peaked on, Mum. So then I'm just going to snip up there. Now, I always, as you know, try and make it possible for anybody to do what I'm doing without necessarily having, the stuff that I've got. Because we've all got different stuff. Or as somebody said to me the other day, crap. You know you are, don't you? We all have different interesting piles of crap. So, if you haven't got wooden blocks, I mean, if you want them, you want to try it, these come from the Indian Block Print Company. I've got a few now. I'll be honest, they're not the cheapest, but, Now, if you haven't got them and you're not interested in that kind of thing, then you can obviously use your normal stamps that you use for paper crafting. And you can use your different coloured inks and you can get the same, not necessarily the same picture, but the same kind of thing. There you go. So that's now going to sit in there. But before I glue that down, I'm going to put a bit of cheesecloth just for like added texture, as it were. So we need a long piece. So let's cut that up there. And I want to overlap by about an inch. So that's about an inch. See, and this is what I would normally do with fabric. If you've been around a while, you'll know that. But I thought it would be nice, as I seem to be playing with lots of different crafts at the moment. I got a bit mojo dead, so that's why I started stretching out and doing other things, if you like. There you go. So I'm going to use my glue stick. I've been asked lately about this glue stick. This actually comes from Tesco's Home Office. It's a 40 gram, I don't know what you call it, tube stick. And I get it in my local supermarket when I get my food shop. So it's really easy. And it's, I think it's £1.30, £1.40 a stick. And I do find that I love it because it sticks fabric beautifully, as you've heard me say a million times. Just give that a little crease. Okay, so now I'm going to put the printed fabric down. And obviously I didn't know anything about, you know, block printing, but the company, the Indian Block Print Company that I got these from, they've actually got a YouTube channel. They do lots of really helpful videos. So I've done the two sides, as you saw, but I obviously can't do the middle piece because it's going to pull up that cheesecloth. So I'm going to do the actual fabric. And the paints that I got were fabric paints. You can get normal acrylic paints to use, but I wanted the fabric ones. Because I wanted to work on fabric. And then I'm just going to press that down and drive that home. There you go. And now we've got I think a pretty, but because of the muted colours, also a vintage type interior. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. Just stand it over there on its book block. Now, because it's the postage book, I thought we should be doing something postage orientated. Now I've only got one or two of these vintage envelopes, and obviously they're very precious. They're becoming more and more seldom now. So I wondered what I could do. So I've jumped onto Pinterest and I found loads of what, I mean, normal ones like this, but what's called mail art, where people have actually drawn on envelopes. So again, you know, if you want to join in, you don't need anything special. Get yourself on Pinterest or somewhere similar, get some images. I mean, they're just beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this one, look at this, it's a real sort of work of art. And then they've put the address in the smoke bubble from the chimney. This one's more of a postcard one. It's another glorious painting with like the address in the sky. This one's got the address on the box. And this is obviously a Christmas one with a penguin. So what I did to do that is I printed it out. I think I printed generally 4 to a page. And as you can see, I left a really deep white space below the actual image. I've glued it to just a piece of random paper. I then folded over the two sides like that. Excuse me. Took some glue, open it up, fold that in, and then I just glued the sides. I didn't worry about trimming any corners off or anything like that. Whoops. I just made myself these envelopes from these pictures. Sealed it up, and Bob's your uncle. You've got an envelope. Okay, Now this one, with my scissors, could do with a trim because it's got extra bits on the bottom. Okay, and then I just ran my inky brush all the way round the edge. Okay. Just so that it had, you know, a little bit more interest to it. And that's what I did. Excuse me. And then I did find that in the stamp album I bought with all the stamps in, there was this little tiny envelope here that is very old and torn and battered. And I thought, you know what? Let's turn this into one of these. So that, I believe, is pencil, but I don't know if it's been on there so long. Oh, look, it is going to come off, or at least fade down. So I'm going to rub as much of that away as I can. And you can tell how old it is by the feel of the paper. Modern envelopes, A, are printed, aren't they, on the inside, and B, they've got that very sort of crisp feel, whereas old paper has that much more cottony rag type feeling. If you've ever had an old book that's made of cotton rag paper, you'll know what I mean. So it's not gone completely because obviously it's been there for some time, but it is much better than it was. And I'd argue that now it's more of an imprint than a lead. And there's, no, that's, is that pencil or dirty mark? It's pencil. There you go. Okay. So now I want something on the front. Now, I'm no artist, I've told you. And look how this one, the address is on the ship. And this one actually is very relevant to me because Hornchurch, that's where my mum lived for a long time. So that's quite, you know, that one. Anyway, so I can't draw. I can't do these fabulous drawings, but what I can do is use a stamp and make something pretty. So I'm going to look at my stamps. Now the thing is finding one that's the right size. Now we've got this beautiful Tim Holtz stamp, but that's much too big. I suppose really I should have looked for picture stamps before I started, shouldn't I? We've got this one with mushrooms. Now we could get that there, and then maybe we could get the address down that side. We could do some grassy bits. That one might work. Or, oh, I look at the mess I'm making, pulling all these stamps out. It's always Jenga here. You should know that by now. I'm looking for a particular stamp, which, no, now these ones might work. That's not what I was actually looking for, but you know what? Because I don't want you to spend all your time watching me try and find a stamp, I think these might be a good idea. The only thing is, I'm wondering if that's a bit modern. Is that a bit, it's a lovely doggy. Is it a bit of a modern image? I'll tell you what I've got that's not so modern is this one. This is the Friends Forever. We could do it like that. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use that one. So I'm going to get up a dirty mat like so. I'm going to move my coffee because you know what's going to happen. That's going to go flying. It's probably stone cold by now anyway. And we need a block. So if I put the block, no, I was going to say on the areas that I actually want, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? The areas that I want to go on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it all up. I'm doing it in this archival coffee because I think that's going to give that vintage feel to it. Okay. And of course, this is what I was saying about using your stamps, not only for the inside, but also on coffee and tea stained papers that you can then build into envelopes. We make envelopes all the time. There you go. It's quite faint compared to the others, but it's definitely there. And I'm just wondering if there's words with this stamp set, if we use the words as well. The words actually say friends forever. Do you know what? What if we do it in the sepia? There we go. Friends forever. It might have been better actually if I'd used that colour. But I know I am never going to marry that stamp up. So I'm not even going to try. So move that over there. Move that over there. I'll get my inky brush. And I'm going to go around the edge. I'm going to do it flat because this is such a fragile envelope. And now I need to think about how we're going to protect it, because especially if we're going to put it into a journal, because it's ripped, isn't it, on this piece here. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and do a bit of an it won't be invisible, but a blend-in repair. So tear a piece of this off. Yep. So I glue this. This is just tea-dyed paper. I'm going to glue it on there. Turn that over. Glue the equivalent area. Stick that down there. And then I'll take my tear ruler. Hopefully, she says, we can and then if we just add a bit of ink on there, that'll just hopefully fade that down a little bit, like so. Okay, there's a car having a party outside my window, do apologise. There you go. So now we've sealed up most of that, and it should stop tearing for us. I'm going to find a biro and we're going to write an address. It'll be a fictitious address, so and person. So Charles Davenport. Well, that sounds very posh, doesn't it? 19 Clyde Avenue, Maysworth, Oh, work. May's work. Kent. TN 186BJ. Now, I hope that's not an address by, you know, I mean, I've totally made that up as I've gone along, but it could be someone's address. If it is, I apologise. But I can't imagine that I've got everything right. There can't be a Charles Davenport living at that address, surely. So then I'm going through my stamps and I'm going to find, we have green, find a little green stamp. And these are all being used, so they've all got postmarks on them. And we'll stick that up there. And we have created ourselves a lovely envelope. Okay. So it's that simple. Okay, now all of these envelopes have got completely flat backs because of course they're not real envelopes. This one being a real one has got the V, so maybe, you know, we'll take the ink and we'll emphasize that V a little bit. As it's there, we might as well highlight it, mightn't we? There we go. And obviously this is a real envelope, but this one's really highlighted because this is one of those super thin airmail envelopes. Okay. Now my plan is that I'm going to put all of these together like a tab. Now as you can see, they're all different sizes, so we do need to work out what we want where. Now because it's the largest and it's the thinnest, that one's going to go at the back. Also, where's that Christmas one? I think we'll have Christmas next to that. And then look, we've got this really skinny one. Then maybe that big one. And then a multicoloured one. Skinny one. Square one. Skinny one. Country. Oh, we don't want the two countries together. And then I'm going to put the ship one at the front. So then country one will go in there. We've got this one that's just got writing on it. I think we'll put that in there. And then this one that we just made, perhaps we'll put behind the country one there. So they're all different sizes, yeah? So lots of people have done these tab books. Most people, as far as I'm aware, do it with things like washi tape. Well, because of what they are, I mean, I have got this one. This one might work because it's got like postmarks on it. Or, oh, what else have I got? I think Carol Laws is the queen of tab books, isn't she? She always seems to get them perfectly right. I'm going because I know there's another one in here that might actually work, which is obviously right at the bottom, isn't it? That one with bikes on. So move all that out of the way. Right, now let's have a look. Now I believe that when you do this, you need to have just two. And you need to put them and then put them. So you need to go 3s and 2s, don't you? Shouldn't really be doing this, should I? Because you know it's going to be a disaster. And actually, we can't do it with tape because the sticky is going to be on the wrong side. We're going to have to do it with paper. You'll see what I mean in a minute, I think. Goodness, how long have I been here? Oh, only half an hour. That's not too bad. So I suppose what we want then is some vintage paper, isn't it? So dictionary. So I think what we'll do is we'll do dictionary and we'll see what happens. So if I use this ruler here, because of the 3 areas, it will give me, look, set size. So if I tear off the extra white first and then line it up like that on the edge of just the one, then all my tabs will be the same size. However, I'm feeling that's too thin. That's, if we're going to keep flipping, that's going to be too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with it, but before I tear them apart, I'm going to glue 2 pages together, because that is going to make it very much tougher. So, oh, I like pencil, so I'm just going to glue this all the way through, and then you do need to get it square though, like that. Okay, looks square to me. I don't know if one's going to be enough, so let's go on the side of caution. We'll go to the front of the book so we get different letters. We don't want all, what was that, P, do we? We want different things. So open it up. Cucumber and curb. This one's still semi-joint, so at least we know it should go on square. And as I'm always saying, an extra layer of glue will always make your paper a bit stronger. Right, bring that over. Whoops. And line that up. Whoops. So, turn it over, because that side's got glue all over it now. This is the one that we did first, so hopefully it's dry. So I'm going to line that up at the top, tear that off, get rid of it. So now I'm just going to keep lining it up to that section of the ruler. For some reason it's going around the corner at the end, but never mind. Because I think what we do is we go 3 and then 2. I should have watched the video before I come on, really, shouldn't I? Let's have a little look. So I believe what we do is, I'm going to tear off the extra white because I don't want that. I believe we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. And that goes on there. And then we go 1, 2 in between. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what we do. So I'm going to use the wet glue just because I don't want to get glue stick all over my table. And I suppose, we should make sure they're all the same size, shouldn't we? So 1, 2, 3. Tear off that white bit, and then I'm just going to tear down the centre of the dictionary. Actually, it was good using dictionary because of that reason. So then I'm going to glue half. And I'm probably telling my grandmother to suck eggs here because I'm sure you've all done or seen this done before. Oh, don't glue all of it, Claire, just the first half. So there. And then that half there. I've probably come off screen, haven't I? I've just realised. Like that. Okay. And then they, and you can decide, I might do it skew width. So that's now going to glue on there. We're going to find out in a minute if this is going to work. That's going to go on there. And that gives us, oh, it's not as, I'll make sure that gap's right. Okay. So we've got 3. And now, I believe, we do a 2 like this. So, some of you are probably screaming at the screen going, no, Claire. Oh, see, done it on the wrong side. No, Claire, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that, woman. Come on. And that one. Now, I'm not too worried about these because I'm going to obviously be decorating the back. So, now, this one, I might put that right at the top. So again, it's different heights, just for added interest. And the only thing you're going to have to make sure, or I'm going to have to make sure, is that A, they don't stick to each other, don't let them stick to each other, and B, that you don't go making it too long for your book. See, because now I think that needs to go to the bottom and the next one needs to come up. Does that make sense? So we've got 1, 2, 3. So now we need some more strippy whippies. And I'm sure this is actually now getting quite boring. You've seen all the interesting stuff. So I think I'll just do this next one. And then I'll play on my own. And I'll come back and show you when it's finished. Or when it's at least joined together, not when it's finished. Because obviously I've got all the backs of the envelopes to decorate. Now I am actually going to do 3 on this one. So do that one right down the bottom. Okay, put that on there. And remember, we want to come down now. So I'm going to go to about there. Glue this, glue this, glue this. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And that one's going to come over. And I think this one, I'll just do the 2 and I'll line it up at the bottom. Am I way off screen? I don't think I'm too bad. So I've got 2 left, so I'll just do these 2 with you, and then I'll go off and get it finished, and I'll come back when it's done. So that one is going to go in there, and make sure the text is all up the right way, Claire. And in there like that, and then lining it up at the bottom, I said, didn't I? Sounds like children are being called in and they don't want to go in. There we go. Okay. As I say, I'm not overly worried about all these strips because I will be doing a different kind of artwork on the back. I've now got the perfect height. Don't want to extend either way at all. So now we're just going to stick within the confines of that. So I will be back in a minute when it's all stuck together. Okay, I'm back. So we're all stuck together now. And normally when you do these tabs, obviously they're all lined up. So you get 1, 2, 3 and 2, 4. But because I've got my pieces out of line, then all my tabs are obviously out of line. And that's why sometimes we've got 4 or 5. They all vary. But each one is now joined up. There's a bit of glue there. And I can gradually now take my time decorating up all the backs, and of course every single one of them has got an opening. Some are on the side, yep, some are on the side. That's on the side, we know that's on the side. Is it this one? Yeah, this one's at the top. So I can make a tag or a journal card for every single one of them. So once we've done that, the fact that at the moment it's only halfway up that spine, it will be full up, and then we can stitch it in. And I quite like that that is hanging off the side. However, we're probably going to have to strengthen it because otherwise we're going to have a bit of an issue because it's so fragile anyway. So there you go. That's what we've done today. I hope you found some joy and inspiration. If you want this, it's on my Ko-fi. I'll leave my Ko-fi details in the comments. You can go and get it. And these are just randoms from Pinterest that you can obviously make up yourself. And you can grab some pretty paper or some fabric and use your stamps and do your cover. So there you go. As always, a huge thank you for you coming along, spending time with me today. Hope you found some joy and inspiration. I'll see you very soon. We'll do some decorating. See you later.